And poor Vince, man, he never got to hear the reason. All she knew is he got me out of jail in Orlando where I lived. I had a girlfriend that she lived with me for a little bit, and then it didn't work out, and I booted her out, and she broke in one night, came in, and she was going to try to kill herself, evidently. But I come home and my windows broke. I come home late from a club and see this truck in the yard, and I'm thinking, my friends that always come over to the house and party, even when I was on the road, they go jiggle the sliding doors open and go in and party, which I didn't care. Except they left messages. I told them once, at least clean up if you're going to do this shit. Don't leave me come home after 30 days on the road. Got to clean up your damn Burger King bags and beer bottles and liquor bottles and weed all over the damn, spilled all over the floor. But I figured that's what it must have been, one of them. Yet I seen the Colorado tags on it. And I knew that was. I was like, fuck, she came back. So flew her home and told her, like, it was right before the Survivor Series. I flew her home and told her to visit her family till I got back. And we went and I flew out to wherever that Survivor Series was. Me and the kid ended up being the final two. We won it, our match. And you could see me gimping around, though. We had a car wreck the night before. That's why I wanted to get rid of her. Get her out of there, because I had 3 near deaths in 6 weeks being with her. So it was like, if you don't get her out of here, you're going to die. But I told her to go home and be with her family for Thanksgiving. And when I got back, I packed all of her shit in a big ass box and shipped it out to Colorado where she was at and said, don't come back. But she broke in and there was a big ass. I was so mad when I saw the busted window and I realized Colorado is her. And she busted my damn window to get in. And I was so mad. I've got the keys in my pocket to my door, but I'm so mad I crawled through the damn hole too. And the broken window, it was like a tunnel hole. I crawled through that, got a little cut on my arm, and I heard music playing upstairs in one of the bedrooms, and I was like, man, what the fuck's she doing? And I went up and went to open the door, and it was locked. And I thought, she's in there fucking somebody. Holy shit, she came in here and brought somebody, and I tried to jiggle the door open. I went to the ticket open, and she had pulled the dresser over. That's when I really got like, what the fuck? And I kicked the door off the hinges. It bounced over, and she was standing there on a bar stool. She had made a little noose. This is how goofy the damn girl was. She's got one of my stretchy leg ties for the rocker outfits. It just stretched down to the floor if she would have hung herself. And she got it on a plant hook. I mean, she was tiny. She was like only 100 pounds, like 5 foot, 100 pounds, 5'1". And that's still enough that would have pulled the plant hook out, I guess. But I mean, when I seen her like going to trying to get the damn noose around her neck, and I went and shoved her off the thing. I said, what are you doing? And she jumped up and ran down the street, and police ended up coming, and they arrested me, or I guess they arrested me. They took me, yeah. And they were, when we were sitting there talking about it, I was telling them, I said, well, why would you take me in? And, she said, no, I don't want him arrested. I don't want him arrested. She's sitting right there too. And they were like, well, we've just passed a law in Florida where if we're called to the scene of a domestic, dispute, we have to take somebody in. It's a law now. It just passed. Figures. I said, well, if you got to take somebody in, take her in. She broke in my window with glass, the window right there, and she was upstairs trying to hang herself. And he said, well, just how long she been gone? I said, I don't know, a week. He goes, well, if she's got mail here and she's been here in the last 6 months or something like that, he goes, it's still her resident. She's not breaking in. It's her
They
place
always
too.
take the guy. I could tell you that from my own experience. Being
Yeah.
exonerated after being attacked with a weapon, they
Well,
still took me. But
yeah.
it's stupid.
And you know what the policeman did? The one, they knew me. They'd been to the house before a few times because the parties got pretty wild. Um, the one officer, and I recognized him, but he looked at me and I said, "Well, take her." She's the one that did every damn thing. One of the other officers, because I said she tried to hang herself, he went upstairs to look at it and see, which it was real. It was up there. But she was sitting there like crying. She was a very pretty little Spanish girl, 5 foot tall. I mean, she was small, about 100, maybe 95 pounds. And so this is what the officer told me. He said, Marty, at the time I was in the prime of my wrestling. I was, 230 pounds, kind of muscled up a little, unlike now. But he looked at me and he goes, I said, take her. And he looks at me and goes, Marty, we would be the laughing stock. You're a big, tough, rumble wrestler, and we're going to take that little girl in over taking you in. I said, that's the criteria because I'm big and she's little. What the hell? I said, all right, let's go. And I got mad as shit because I was like, that's what they're, like you said, they're going to take the guy. That's all he said the reasoning, because I was a big wrestler and she was like a little petite girl. That's the reason they took me. What pissed me off when I got down to the jail, the lieutenant or sergeant or whatever he was, he recognized me and he was like, he took me on a tour. Like, here's some of the guys that have been on TV lately. This is, what's his name? You remember this guy that murdered? That's him. And I'm taking this tour and I'm sitting there and finally he says, well, he goes, you're going to try to bond out, aren't you? And I said, no, I'm going to stay here. And I got a foreign tour coming up. But I'm gonna stay here and let TV people know what y'all did. You arrested me because I'm a big wrestler and that girl's little. That's all right. We'll get it on TV. He goes, oh, Marty, don't do that to us. Don't do that to us. But I wasn't going. I was going to stay there and do that. But I had to call Vince. They give you, your call. I called Vince and let him know what was up. And it was like, I don't know, 6 a.m. or something. And he said, Marty, what's going on? I said, I'm in jail, and told him why. And, she had broke in and they considered it domestic dispute. And so they took me in. Vince saying, well, they can't do that. I said, well, Vince, I'm in jail. He said, well, he goes, what do you got to do? You got to make your flight today. I said, no, I'm going to sit here and get on TV and tell them what these people did. These police people did here. And he's like, well, Marty, I need you on that tour more than you need to make a point, of what they did. And he goes, let me talk to them. And now, so they kept telling me it's just going to be $300 to bond out. It's just be $300. You got $300, Marty? I said, I do, but I'm not doing it. But then Vince got on the phone with them. This is the power Vince has got, right? And they come back and said, you're free to go, Marty. I said, what? Yeah, he said, Vince took care of everything. You're good to go.